We are almost there. We have waited for so long and Cyberpunk 2077 is almost out. Now of course, some people will be skeptical that the game will actually get released on December 10th, but I'm honestly pretty sure that it's too late to delay it now. This will most likely be my last video before the game launches, and that is exciting by itself. First of all, I want to show you guys this beautiful clip. Here you see a shit ton of Cyberpunk 2077 copies, and by God is it beautiful. This by itself does give me more hope that the game will not be delayed again. It's very difficult to delay a game if they are already shipping the physical copies. This makes me incredibly excited. I love every tiny bit of detail we hear about this game. Doesn't matter how big or small at all. But of course, if there are copies in the wild, there will be some leaks. It's pretty much unavoidable. And a few days ago, we had a leak of Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation 4 version. I won't show it here, because of multiple reasons, but the biggest being I don't want my video to get taken down or something. But if you want to watch it, you can easily find it online. I don't recommend watching it though. It's one of the most boring leaks I have ever seen. The guy playing is definitely high on something, and the gameplay showed was nothing special. Just a little more Nomad gameplay. I pre-ordered Cyberpunk on Steam a few days ago, and that felt so fucking good. You also get special stuff by pre-ordering the game on Steam, according to this tweet from the official Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account. Get Cyberpunk 2077 on Steam to receive a short story written by our story lead, Thomas Marchevka. 2 AM she calls will show you the hostile streets of Night City as seen by Frank, an ex-NCPD officer working the night shift as a combat cab driver. After this, they also replied to this tweet saying, PS, in addition, you'll also get a set of exclusive goodies, including avatars, posters, and a wallpaper. Going back to the Nomad leak, we got a new video showing gameplay on PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5, but not the next-gen patch of course, since it will not be out until next year. I do find it a little worrying that in this video and the Xbox video, they did not show standard consoles. We have no idea what the standard Xbox One or PlayStation 4 performance will be like. This won't be a problem for me, since I play on PC, but I hope the performance is fine for you guys on console. No matter what, I do expect the launch of this game to be quite buggy, and will be fixed quite quickly with multiple patches. But of course I could be wrong, and it'll be a launch without many issues. It's just my prediction. Another big reason to actually believe that the game will release on December 10th is because the advertisements for Cyberpunk 2077 have gone up so much. I don't even want to know how much CDPR has spent on marketing, because they are advertising the shit out of this game. Now of course you guys probably want examples, so I quickly went onto the Cyberpunk subreddit to try and find some good pictures, and I found a perfect one. Just look at this madness. Also, I want to make it clear that this is not my picture. A fellow Cyberpunk fan named C3YL on Reddit posted this. I don't know if he made it, and if he did not, please tell me if I should credit someone else. I just thought this picture was perfect for what I wanted to show. So we can clearly see there's a lot of advertisements on buildings, on buses and signs. It's everywhere. We also kind of know the preload dates and size for Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4. This is not 100% official, so maybe take it with a grain of salt. But a Twitter user called PlayStation Game Size made a post stating that the preload will begin on December 8th and the download size will be 72 GB. I definitely think this is legit, because what would even be the point of making this up? It's not super interesting. But do keep in mind this is for PlayStation 4, so Xbox and PC might be different. Only time will tell. I would have liked it if the preload started at least 3 days before launch, since I know some people won't be able to fully download it in time. Wow, I feel like I've been talking a lot, but there's a lot more to cover in this video. But even though this will have a lot of stuff in it, I might still miss some stuff. I'm not perfect, guys. There was a Night City Wire last week, which had a lot of dope stuff. But if I were to talk about everything we learned during the Night City Wire, this video would simply be way too long, probably above an hour. And you could just easily go and watch everything yourself on the Cyberpunk YouTube channel. Keep in mind, the official gameplay trailer did include some mild spoilers, so if you're sensitive towards spoilers, I recommend not watching that video. But it's something impressive about the video is that it managed to get 20 million views in 3 days. That is absolutely insane. I think it's at like 25 million as I'm recording this. People are beyond hyped for this game. My favorite part of the Night City Wire was when they talked about the soundtrack. It just seems to be such a good soundtrack. And after Night City Wire, they also released 6 official soundtrack songs that I highly recommend listening to. One thing a lot of people have talked about is the playtime of one of the developers. His tweet is on the screen right now, and I won't try to pronounce his name because I will fuck it up and I don't want to be disrespectful. So here we can clearly see that he has a playtime of 175 hours, which is a lot, right? Well, yes and no. I mean, it is a lot of course, but he's also a QA lead. He probably isn't playing in a way that normal people would play it. He also said this when someone asked if this was a completionist run. Not really, that's just one of my ongoing slow-paced playthroughs on the hardest difficulty, where I play more stealthy than usual. Loot everything, use every feature the game has to offer, I take my time. This can be taken in many ways. Does this mean that you will get 175 hours of the game simply by being a little slower paced and stealthy? Simple answer, there is no way for us to know at this time. We might definitely be able to get 175 hours out of this game, but don't be disappointed if you finish it in less than that time. We all play games in different ways, and some take longer than others. We are here for a good time, not necessarily a long time. This specific developer also confirmed in another reply to someone that there will be a setting to turn nudity off, which is a nice feature that I probably won't use. But another feature that I probably will use is the streamer mode. This mode will replace some songs that can cause copyright issues with other songs that most likely won't. This is really nice of them, but incredibly sad that we even have to have a setting like that. Another tweet by some other CDPR developer said this: I just completed a certain quest in Cyberpunk 2077, and while I don't usually get emotional playing games, I had to pause and take a breather after this one. Our quest designers and writers created an insanely good experience. So from this tweet, seems like this game might be surprisingly emotional. He also replied to someone asking if the emotions were on the same level as the phenomenal and very emotional Bloody Baron quest line in The Witcher 3, and Powell said this: similar, more personal. Will not say more, this needs to be experienced. Guys, I might not be ready at all for this quest. I get very emotional by games and movies. Some fun news from my fellow PC gamers out there. We got updated system requirements that actually include ray tracing, settings and resolution, instead of just minimum or recommended. So if we look at this, I know where I'm going to be at recommended because I don't have a 1440p monitor, so it'll probably be 1080p Ultra, I guess. I really need to get a 1440p monitor. So I have a RTX 2070 Super, so seems like I would end up in the middle between the high system requirements and Ultra, since it's worse than a 2080 Super, but better than a 2060. So I feel pretty confident in my PC. But the minimum are surprisingly low. I mean, i5 3570K and AMD FX 8310, they are pretty old now. I'm not trying to shame anyone, but I mean they are pretty old. And a GTX 780 and RX 470. I mean, a lot of people will be able to play this game. But keep in mind that we don't know if this is aiming for 30 or 60 FPS. That does make a big difference. And I mean, oftentimes they do aim for 30, which is sad but true. We're nearing the end of all the news for this video, but I want to finish this video off by talking a bit about the previews. Some people got access to around 16 full hours of gameplay in Cyberpunk 2077, and they had quite a bit to say. Let's start with some positive things from the Games Radar article written by Sam Loveridge. After spending 16 hours with the game, I've only just hit Act 2, and only just started writing V's story, but the journey so far has been intoxicating. Anyone worried that Cyberpunk 2077 may be disappointing shouldn't be. This is a game that will surely surpass expectations. Sam also said this: Cyberpunk 2077 is clearly a huge undertaking. The density of the game's systems is a testament to that, with me only feeling partly comfortable understanding the complexities of the weaponry loadouts, huge skill tree, perks, or my future in cyber enhancements, just to name a few. But that scale does come with some concerns, and while Cyberpunk 2077 didn't present me with any game-breaking bugs, the visual bugs were plentiful, although CDPR says that it's aware of them. I am hesitant to suggest that they'll all be fixed by the time we all get our hands on the full game come December 10th, but with a game this ambitious and frighteningly huge, I'm in the mind to forgive a few unintentional quirks. This is one hell of a game, a neon-soaked seduction from the first second. Now that seems like this will be one hell of a game. Moving on to the IGN article written by Tom Marks, he said this: I came away from my 16 hours with Cyberpunk 2077 hungry for more, and with the sense that it had certainly had more to feed that hunger. It's rad as hell, a gorgeous world that you could get absolutely lost inside of in precisely the manner you choose to do so. It's certainly not without its rough edges, especially when it comes to its menus, but those blemishes didn't do much to stop what it does well from shining brightly. Even after 2 full days, I feel like I've only barely started to see what's here, and it only got more exciting the deeper I went. Those are the 2 articles I wanted to mention. There was an article by PC Gamer too, but if you want to read more yourself, you can go to their website. You should do the same for the other articles too. They are great at telling you what Cyberpunk 2077 is all about and what they think of it. All of these articles seem overwhelmingly positive, but with some issues too, which was to be expected. Visual bugs and clunky menus seem to be the biggest issues they had with the preview. And maybe it just seems a little bit unpolished. Let's hope CDPR is going to fix these issues, or at least most of them. Now, I really want to say something directly to some of you watching. This game is not futuristic GTA. It is still a full-on RPG. Yes, you can shoot guns, but please don't go into this expecting a Doom-like first-person shooter experience. You will certainly be disappointed. Okay, well guys, this is actually all the news I have for this video. This is a very different type of video for me to make, but I hope you guys liked it. If you did, I will definitely consider doing more of this type of content for other games, and maybe just a mix of news every other week or something. I appreciate the support I get on my videos, and I truly enjoy making content. And I thought it was about time to try something new, so here I am. I will be live streaming Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes out, and also make a review on it. So if you want to watch any of the streams, you can check out my Twitch channel in the description, and maybe even join the Discord. It's really inactive at the moment, but that can change. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, consider giving the video a like, or maybe even subscribe. As always, have a great day, and goodbye.